How are you? Can you believe we're already in August? And it doesn't matter where we are in the world. One thing that we all have in common is that we're all going through this incredible 7 universal year number in numerology. And it's a year of massive leaps and bounds with our spiritual development, our personal development, and amazing breakthroughs can happen for us and some of the people we know around us. And it's almost like we've got so much celestial light, so much assistance from everywhere, from shining down from the stars and the planets. And astrologically, it's an incredible time. Numerologically, it's an incredible time. Spiritually, it's an incredible time. And you just have to look at some of the things that are shaking and moving and breaking down and transforming all around the planet in so many areas. And it's the Great Awakening, and it's such an incredible time. Now, don't get me wrong, that can also be a challenging time. Any transition has teething problems. Any transition and transformation is a process. And sometimes that process can be hard going. But the main thing is, if we hold that goal in our mind at all times, and do the work that needs to be done to assist ourselves through that transition and hold that end goal in our mind's eye and in our heart, and always connect with source energy to be the wind beneath our wings, we will make it through to the other side, and we're going to be living in new earth, and we're going to be living in such a more empowered, loving, community, unity consciousness, positive, harmonious way of living our lives. And of course, we create our own reality. We create our own timeline based on what we think and believe, based on how we perceive ourselves in life. And it's all about being aware of that perception and making sure that we are perceiving things from the highest possible perspective. So thank you so much for joining me today. Whether you're joining me live or you're listening to the playback, I want to thank you for choosing to spend your valuable time with me to hear all about your numbers and how they can help you to improve your life for August 2023. So let's get started with some of the information, okay? Let's start with working out the universal year number for 2023 as the foundation, because that influences every single one of us. And 2023 adds up to a 7. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about that 7 universal year number. And that's the basis or the foundation of a vibration that influences every single person on the planet. And the 7 universal year number is the number of awakening. It's a number of truth and exposing the dark corners that's hidden beneath the shadows, bringing things into the light, as well as our own darkness, facing our shadow side, working on those little parts of our personality that we know we need to improve and we need to face, rather than sweeping things under the carpet. But it's also a time of spiritual breakthroughs, of a lot of people can come along leaps and bounds in their personal growth and development. And it's about understanding that when we combine personal growth with spiritual connection and source energy, miracles can happen. And it's a very powerful time for all of us on the planet. Now, we have that universal year number for 2023, which is the 7. But then we take that 7 and we look at the month of August. Now, August is an 8. So we add the 7 universal year number with the 8 for August. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Therefore, August is what is known as a 6 universal month number. A 6 universal month number alongside that 7 universal year number. Now, what does that 6 universal month number mean? Because that influences all of us, right? We have a personal year number and a personal month number and a universal year and a universal month number. And I'm going to combine all of those dynamics together for you today. So you don't really have to try too hard to think, I'll do all the heavy work, I'll do the lifting. You just listen and get all the answers. So with that 8 August and that 7 universal year, is we're adding 8 and 7, as I said, 15 as a 6. Now, before I tell you what the 6 means, let's have a look at that 1 and 5 first. Well, I'll tell you about the six. The six is about the relationships in our life. All right. There's many meanings for each number, and relationships in our life is only one of several meanings for number six in a forecasting number, such as a personal month or a universal month or year. And so that the key theme is the relationships around us. But let's take a look at that 1 and 5, because that's influencing what kind of six it's going to be. Well, number 5 is about change and movement and shifts and changes. And 1 is about new beginnings and ourselves as an individual. So I like to think of 15/6 like this. The changes from the 5, the changes that we make to ourselves and the self-improvement changes we make to our own personalities and the people that we are will help to improve the relationships around us in our life. And that's a theme to remember for August, for all of us. So it's almost like if you've got relationships that you know would benefit from a bit of extra work, a bit more love and care, a bit more understanding, a little bit more, being more cooperative and more negotiable with people and more aware of what they're going through rather than everything from what we want or our needs or our point of view. Being a lot more flexible, understanding and forgiving, the changes that we can make to our own self in terms of how we perceive another person's point of view or how we perceive a challenge we have with somebody. By making positive changes within our own selves, we can improve the relationships around us. Because spirituality isn't just believing in source energy, manifesting things that we want in life, having a great relationship with spirit and our angelic and, ascended master friends and all of that. Spirituality, true spirituality, is love and compassion and being of service to other people. And it's quite interesting because there are so many people in the world that are spiritually aware and believe in spirituality, but are sort of lacking in terms of the compassionate and kindness and understanding and being of service to other people. So let's make that a theme this month in terms of I want to be there. I want to feel like I'm a better person. I want to feel like I'm growing. I'm giving more than I'm taking. And I'm really seeing people from a different point of view, a more positive light. And that's a theme for that sort of 6 universal month that's influencing all of us. Now, another theme for that 6 universal month that's influencing all of us is about being that shoulder to cry on, being that natural counselor, being the one that people will come to when they need advice, when they need assistance, when they just need to offload, or even giving a helping hand to those in need. Number 6 is also learning to be more accepting of imperfection. That's a hard one, but it's something that we need to work on this month. Being more accepting of the imperfection in ourselves, first and foremost, so giving ourselves a break. We're not meant to be the perfect person with the perfect life. We are a work in progress. We're always going to have more work to do. In fact, we're all going to probably end up on our deathbeds one day with more work left to do, and we'll just catch up on that in the next life. So we can only do our best, one step at a time, baby steps, and be kind to yourself along the way. So embracing and accepting the imperfection in ourselves, we can only do our best, as well as accepting and embracing the imperfection in others. Now, that's a really hard one too, because it's so easy to pick away and judge and criticize what everybody else is doing wrong, but we're learning how to be more understanding and more broad-minded and more kinder to people and giving them a break and, learning to accept those imperfections and also learning to be more accepting and embracing the imperfection in life. Life is crazy. There's so much injustice out there. There's all kinds of wild and wacky things that happen to a human being in this world. And it's about accepting that life wasn't meant to be perfect. And it's how we handle our way through those imperfections, how we manage to stay grounded, positive, happy in all of the injustices, all of the imperfections, and all of the madness out there. And that's the key. And this is what we want to focus on for August. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to work out and give you a forecast for each of your own individual personal year numbers, because we have the universal year and month number that influences everybody on the planet. But then we break it down and have our own individual personal year number and personal month number forecast individually. Before I go and do that with you, I want to let you know that whoever's listening right now, whether you already subscribe to my monthly newsletter that gets the free forecast and other special offers that I offer, whether you already subscribe, it's absolutely fine, or whether you're new and you would like to receive in your inbox for free each month a forecast of your numerology forecast. So in case you missed the live videos or you want to recap halfway through the month of what your forecast is, sign up to my newsletter. michellebuchanan.co.nz. On the homepage, it'll say free monthly forecast. If you're already subscribed, just flick me a message through my website saying I want to go in the draw. I'm giving away, as I do each month, 5 free numerology forecast reports. So it's a whole 27-page report of your whole numerology chart from your birth certificate name and date of birth and the name you go by today. It's going to tell you your life purpose, your life path number, your destiny number, your soul number, your future forecast, and a 12-month, month-by-month forecast each month. And I'm giving 5 away for free like I do every month. So hit me up. Everyone who subscribes to the newsletter automatically goes in the draw, and I will email the winners. All right, so let me know if you're keen. And yeah, there you go. So I usually wait about a week before I draw the winners, and that gives people enough time to get in the draw, because not everybody's going to listen to this forecast within the next day or so. So this time next week, if you haven't had an email from me, and check your junk mail, because sometimes my emails go into junk mail if you haven't had an email from me before, and you might be one of those lucky winners. Oh, good luck. So let's get started with working out your personal year number for 2023. First step, you're going to add the day and month of your birth date to number 7. Why number 7? Because 2023 adds up to 7. So the day and month of your birthday, add that to number 7. Now let me give you an example for the birth date, 28th of March. We would go 2 plus 8 plus 3 plus 7. Now the next step is to add any double numbers together until you get a single number between 1 and 9. And that single number is your personal year number for the whole year. Now in our example, the 28th of March, 2 plus 8 plus 3 plus 7, that actually adds up to 20. 2 and 8 is 10, 11, 12, 13, 20. So 2 plus 0 is a 2. All right, so add the day and month of your birth date to number 7. Then if you end up with any double numbers, keep adding those double numbers together until you get a single digit between 1 and 9, and that's your personal year number for the whole year. Now, Hay House have put in the comments of this thread, in this video, one of the very first comments you will see in the comment section is a link to a page that will explain the whole calculating your personal year number calculation method. For those that don't quite understand what I'm saying and need to read it, follow that link. And then you can always watch the playback and listen to your forecast. All right, I'll say it one last time. Add the month and day of your birth date to number 7. Add any double numbers together until you get a single number between 1 and 9, and that is your personal year number for the whole year. Let's start with personal year number 1. You guys are in a whole year for you is about a new, fresh, clean slate. All right, new beginnings, new opportunities. This is your numerology guidance oracle card for the month. There you go. New numerology guidance oracle cards. You don't need to know how to use numerology to use them, because they are extremely powerful. They'll show you how to, manifest the things. They're law of attraction manifestation cards based upon numerology. But for you guys, your year, the 1 year, new beginnings, it's about a whole clean, fresh slate where you're looking at new ways of thinking and being. So if there's new ideas, you're going to find that you actually will get a lot of inspiration this year. And this is why it's so important that you know how to maintain or raise your vibration by being positive, by feeling confident in yourself, by being hopeful about life. Because the higher your vibration, which by the way is governed by your thoughts and emotions, what you think and what you feel manifests, and each thought we have and each emotion we have has an energy frequency. And the higher, the more positive your emotions, the more grateful you feel, the more happy you feel, the more content and grateful you feel, the higher your vibration. The higher your vibration, the cleaner and clearer the intuitive guidance is. The cleaner and clearer and more obvious the intuitive hits come, the more ideas you get, the more guidance you get as to the right steps to take at the right time. So you don't have to fumble your way in the dark. You're getting all this intuitive guidance, this coming through, from source energy, from your higher self, saying, this is what to do, this is where to go, and doors will open. And this year is a lot of that energy is just sitting there waiting for you at your fingertips. You just need to know how to navigate your way around it. And so this is the year for you, but the month that you're in, because don't forget, we've got the year and then we've got the month. So your year is a 1. So this whole year is about new opportunities, new beginnings, you becoming more independent, becoming more self-confident, and taking the bull by the horns, getting in the driver's seat of your life, being more action orientated. But for the month of August, you're actually in a 9 personal month. And that 9 personal month is about endings and completion, all right? Out with the old to make way for the new. So you're in this whole new beginning this year, but the month of August is giving you an opportunity to get some fine tuning organized, to release and cut away or move away, break away from whatever's no longer serving you. It may be bad habits. It may be a limiting belief that you've been carrying around for years, and now's the time to really release it and let it go. It might be a sort of a mindset that you've had or a way you've perceived a problem, and you've perceived it from a lower vibration. You haven't been able to see it from that higher conscious perspective, looking down and being able to see the bigger picture and seeing the benefit in that challenge and seeing it from a whole new perspective. This is what can happen for you this month. Major breakthroughs. This is the month of endings and completion and transformation, where you move from one state of being or thinking or living or feeling into another. So it's out with the old to make way for the new. And because you're in this whole new beginning this whole year, this month has given you an opportunity to cut loose the loose ends, to tie things up, to put things in order, and to release what no longer works, whether it's a role that a job you've grown out of, whether it's a relationship or friendships you've moved away from. And really, it is such a powerful combination of numbers for you. I want you to make the most of it because you can make magic happen this month. All right. So I wish you the very best, and you go get them, because this is going to be a fantastic month for you if you've got the right attitude. Out with the old to make way for the new. All right. Okay. So let's move on now to personal year number 2. Now, you guys have been in a year that's a bit more slow going this year. The 2 year is asking us to slow down, to find balance within ourselves, to be stable, secure, work on things, fine-tuning things from the back end, working on things behind the scenes, getting ourselves in order mentally, emotionally, physically. And it's saying, don't force things to happen in life in a 2 year. You really have to let go and let God. You really have to trust and flow with that divine order and divine timing, not your timing. Forcing things to happen will not work in your favor. It really is a lesson of patience, to be honest with you, in this 2 year. And it's really funny because there you go. There's the 2 card, patience. I don't know if you can see that, but patience, It's about having faith and trust and maintaining a high vibration and being positive and doing all the physical work and all the things that you need to do to get everything done and everything in order. But then you hand it over to source energy. You hand it over to the universe and you say, I hand this over to you. Lead me where you want me to go. Have me say what you want me to say and to whom. My life is in your hands, and let it be so. And you go where you are led. And you will find that by having that attitude and being flexible and patient, that you will be led to the perfect place and everything will work out for you. Now, for the month of August, you guys are in a 1 month with that 2 year. And this is all about new beginnings and opportunities for you this month. All right, new beginnings and opportunities for you. You're going to feel that a lot more energized this month. You're going to feel like a breath of fresh air. I want you to be open to some cool ideas, some new ways of doing things, or a new way to maybe solve a problem. It's also a really powerful number this month for you to be a lot more independent and a lot more self-confident. I want you to really believe in yourself, really back yourself up this month. Really believe that the world is your oyster and that you can accomplish the goals that you have in mind. I also want you to not be afraid of being different. I want you to not be afraid of speaking your truth and being your true, authentic self. It's really important this month that you do not compromise who you really are and what you really want and what you really feel to keep other people happy, to avoid a confrontation. I want you to be honest and speak your truth in a loving, kind, assertive, and empowered way, because that's another sort of area that you're here to work on this month. But it's about being proactive and confident and go get them. All right. You're going to have a great month with the right attitude. And I leave that with you and I wish you the very best. Let's move on now to personal year number 3. And this 3 year for you is life is trying to give you an opportunity to find ways to be happier. So number 3 governs happiness and joy. It governs creativity, self-expression, communication. But the main thing to know is what the 3 year is designed to do is it may amplify what's making you unhappy so that you can clarify what needs to be done to make you happy. So on one level, it's a matter of learning to have an optimistic mindset, to see the glass half full, no matter what is going on. That's how you will break through the challenges and attract positive solutions coming right onto your path. You won't even need to put much effort in physically if your mind and your heart are in alignment. And that alignment is, I trust and have faith that everything is working out for me, regardless of what's going on in my physical world, regardless of how it appears right now. Solutions are coming. Things are working out for me behind the scenes. And you have to do your best at being as optimistic and positive as you can, because 3 loves joy and optimism. And if you put that effort in, the universe will accommodate you and meet you halfway and take you over that line. All right. Now, also with the 3 year, you might be a lot going on, a lot of distractions. You may find it hard to finish things, or you may be sort of 1 minute you're over here doing this, next minute you're over there doing that. And it's like, I'm all over the show. So there's sort of a little bit of effort required from you this year to be more grounded, more focused, more disciplined and organized. But for the most part, I want you getting out and about, having more fun, being more adventurous, connecting with people more, and expressing your truth. Now, for the month of August, you guys are in a 2 month. And that for you means, on one level, patience. All right. This is a month where I don't want you to force things. Don't force things to happen. Okay. You have to learn to go with the flow and let go and let God, because that's what number 2 is about. It's encouraging you to find balance within yourself, balance within trusting and having faith that the universe has got your back, while you are not forcing your will and what you want to have happen. You are trusting that life will take care of everything. And that's really hard to do, because we're trained in this Western world to take action. But there are times where it's not about doing, it's about being. And that's what number 2 is. It also is going to amplify your emotions this month. So don't be surprised if you feel a little bit extra sensitive. And therefore, when you are having conversations with people, especially if they are of a confrontational nature, or there's words to be said, understand that you may you may be hypersensitive and easily wounded, as well as you may feel that you have to learn to be a bit more understanding of others. You have to learn to be more cooperative, and you will be understood as well if you can give out what it is you want from others. Be that yourself. The number 2 is also encouraging us to express our emotions. So what can sometimes happen in a 2 cycle is we can sometimes have sort of Experiences can be triggered or can happen to enable us to learn to express our emotions. So sometimes it can be a triggering of repressed emotions and past events. Sometimes it can be new experiences that trigger emotions, but a lot of the emotions that they will trigger are not only from that one isolated experience, they are an accumulation that has been sitting in every cell of our being from every wound or issue we've had of a similar thread our whole lifetime. And that isolated event or that event triggering those emotions is giving us the perfect opportunity to express them because we want them out. It's better out than in. We've got to release them so that we have that clean slate. Also, it's a great month for you to reach out and connect with people in a more deep and meaningful way. It's about wanting to bond and be more loving and caring and understood and getting closer to the people around you. So I wish you the very best this month, and I hope it's amazing for you. And I will see you again next month. That's for you guys in the 3-year. And let's talk now about the 4-year. You guys are in a year where it's about head down, bum up, doing the work to get yourself and your life how you want it to be. It's about getting things in order. It's about doing the work behind the scenes that are creating the pillars of stability in your life. It's a busy year. It can be a time where a lot of things happen. There can be challenges. There can be obstacles. There can be times where you feel like you're just pushing, and nothing's happening. The way I describe a 4 cycle is it's almost like you want to go for a run, but you're wearing concrete boots. So it's almost like you want to take action, but you're stuck. And just ride it out, because like the 2 cycle, the 4 is about being patient and let go and let God. Don't force things to happen, but do the work behind the scenes. Get everything organized, get things in place. For you guys, it's cool though, because for August, you're actually in a 3-month, and that 3-month is all about, here it is, here's one of the key words for the 3, creativity. It's a really powerful time for manifestation and the creative process, because the 3 is a number that, on one hand, it does mean literally artistic, creative expression. So if you've got any sort of creative ideas that you want to fulfill and sort of, get started or work towards, great time for that. If you've got any artistic or creative pursuits, great month for that as well. But most importantly, it is also the number of manifestation and creativity. And because number 3 also governs the mind and thoughts, it's like, hey, be really mindful of what you're thinking this month, because thoughts become things and we attract what we focus our attention on the most. So we need to make sure that we are focusing mostly on what we want to have in our life and how we want things to be, rather than what they currently are and what we don't want, because we're attracting what we're thinking about the most. So think mostly about the good stuff. So be aware, really important time to focus on the manifestation process for you this month. And remember, you are working towards building something of a solid foundation. So if there's any ideas that come to you of how you can improve your finances, or ideas of how you can grow your business, or ideas of how you can make things more economical at home, or cost cutting or budgeting, or whatever it is. Also, it's a month for you to be a bit more social. It's a month where you really want to have a bit more fun, because the 3 does govern, joyful expression, fun, laughter. Being silly, being, seeing life through the eyes of a child, and being more joyful, music, dance, being more social and getting out and about. All right. Now, also extra focus. You need to be a bit more organized, because 3 can be a bit of a distracting energy. So just, pay attention, be structured, orderly, and responsible too this month. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 5. Well, you guys are in a year where it's all about progress, movement, and change. And it's funny, because here's your card for the month from the Numerology Guidance Oracle cards. This is the number 5 card, change. All right. That's the Merkaba there. Now, the 5 year is saying, it's changing the playing field. It's like the 1 year. So there are 9 personal year numbers in numerology, right? The 1 year's new beginnings, the 9 years endings, the 5 year is smack bang right in the middle. And it's saying Let's change the playing field. So it literally traditionally is a year usually of progress, movement, and change, where anything can happen, and it usually does. Things can come from left field, and that can be exciting things. So therefore, try for things. Try out for things that you never thought you would have a chance of getting, because you never know your luck with the 5. Anything can happen, and it usually does. So aim high. Also, if there are changes that you need to make in your life, be proactive about making them. Because if there are changes that you know need to be made and you're not making them because you're lazy or you're afraid of the unknown or you just can't be bothered and you don't want to, then life may make those changes for you. And sometimes it's better to be proactive and one step ahead of the game than sort of, at the back end of it and sort of, being highly inconvenienced by life sending you these changes out of the blue that are not fun. So be proactive. If you've got changes you need to make them. Great year for adventures, traveling, doing new things, learning new things. Now, for the month of August, you guys are actually in a full month, and that is where it's going to require from you perseverance. Don't give up. You're going to be required to work hard this month. Take things seriously. Work towards building something of substance. Chip away behind the scenes. Don't force things to happen. Go with the flow of life, but put effort in. Cross your T's, dot your I's, be disciplined, be focused, be on top of things. Put effort in and work towards manifesting your goals into physical reality, because this is a cycle of numbers that you're in where you can get some really good results if you put the effort in, if you've got the right mindset for it, if you're determined, if you don't let challenges hold you back. You just say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And that's the attitude you want in this 4 month that you're in for August. Because really, if you've got that right mindset, the universe will meet you halfway, and boom, before you know it, you've really achieved some really cool stuff. So don't let this go to waste. Put that effort in, and if one door closes, another one will open. Just keep persevering. That's the key word, as well as being organized, focused, and structured. All right. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 6. You guys are in a 6 year, and as I said in the introduction, because August is a 6 universal month, so you've already heard me talk a little bit about 6, and this is one of the energies and meanings of 6 when it comes to forecasting, and that is love. All right, love. And love isn't just romantic love of a lover or a partner. Love is the love of, unconditional love. I love you no matter how you treat me. Or I love you regardless of whether you love me or not. I love you regardless of whether you are who I want you to be. Unconditional love is loving someone exactly as they are, without needing to change or expecting anything back in return. And the 6 energy that you're in this whole year is there is a strong relationship focus, where it is about sort of looking at how you can improve the relationships in your life, being there for those who need you, making your relationship with your own self a priority as well. Self-care is very important for you guys in this 6 year. But home, domestic responsibility, things around the home, your home may need you. There may be renovations needed, or changes at home, changes with family, those sorts of things. But for the month of August, you're actually in a 5 month, and your card for that month, for this month, is number 5, change. So this month, there can be changes coming. Some changes you might be aware of. You kind of might have seen them coming, and you're kind of aware of them, and they were expected. But to be honest with you, number 5 also represents unexpected change, where anything can happen, and it usually does. And there's many times that we can be blindsided in a positive way or a challenging way with number 5. So therefore, your advice this month is to be adaptable and flexible, and pivot. All right. Be ready to sort of, hey, whenever something comes up out of left field, you're ready to adapt. Don't force, don't push against it. Don't sit there going, oh, this is annoying or an inconvenience. Just adapt, pivot. And another way that makes it easier to be able to pivot and adapt when unexpected change comes is that you don't have the plans that you make this month too set in stone. So I always say, whenever I'm making any plans myself, let's say there's an important event that I want to launch, or something important, I never do it in a 5 cycle or a 5 month, because anything can happen, and it usually does. And I kind of don't want to, I don't want any unexpected things to sort of, turn up. So, when you're in a 5 period of time, try not to set anything up this month that's vital that everything runs 100% smoothly, because, you've got to be flexible and adaptable, because anything can happen. But that can be a really exciting thing. Honestly, guys, the most amazing, magical things have happened to me in 5 cycles as well, that I was like, I can't even believe that incredible thing just happened to me. So also, it's a great time for you guys to it's a great time for you to travel. It's a great time for you to do new things, learn new things, try things you've never done before. You may feel like you need your freedom a bit more than usual this month. You may get itchy feet, might want to do something daring or adventurous, and I recommend that you do. Obviously, any sort of anything adventurous is responsible adventure, not too crazy. But it's about shaking up your energy, like shaking things up by just doing something random and exciting, just to shake that energy up. But yeah, I wish you a fantastic month. And you go get them and make those changes that need to be made, and be flexible and adaptable and pivot. So let's move on now to personal year number 7. And you guys, you're always going to be in the same universal year number. So, you get a bit of repetitive sort of commentary from me, because it's the same theme each time. But you're in that 7 personal year number with a 7 universal year number. So it's incredible, the leaps and bounds that you guys can accomplish this year. Honestly, you really can, with the right mindset, in terms of putting that effort in, and working on your shadow side. Take a look at yourself and take a look at your life and say, am I feeling good about where I'm at? Well, if I'm not, why? Why am I not as happy as I could be? Let's take a look at those areas and sort of, what are some of the blockages? Is it your attitude that's preventing? Are you not being grateful enough for how many amazing things are already in your life? Or is it that, there are sort of relationships that need to be improved? Is it you're not doing the kind of work that you love? But even so, how you've been grateful enough that you've got that incredible paycheck coming in, even though you can't stand your job, you're getting paid. Oh my God, you only have to know what it's like to have no job and no money coming in to realize how amazing and grateful it is to have a job that's paying money, because when you don't, trust me, that's awful feeling. So it's a matter of looking at what makes you unhappy, and making the changes either within your personality or your physical conditions in your world and in your life, so that you can be happy. And this year, it's like there's so much good fortune, so much opportunity for you to be able to have those major breakthroughs this year. It's such a powerful year. You're very lucky and blessed to be in the same year number as the universal year number, because you get a double dose of all of that, especially if you're on this sort of spiritual quest, or, enhancing your connection to source, or learning, developing psychic abilities, or whatever it is that you're into. You can come along leaps and bounds. And of course, as you heard me say in the introduction, you are in a 6 personal month and 6 universal month as well. And that means there's a great big theme of love. It's a big theme for you. Love, only love is real. Only love is real. Fear is an illusion. Love is real. And see through the eyes of love. It's a matter of, first and foremost, what you really need to know, especially when you're in a 6 universal month like you are for this month and personal month of August, self-love. So vital for you guys this month. Really focus on what you love about yourself. If you can, and you're that way inclined, and you're open to this suggestion, I want you to get your journal out. And when you're going to sleep at night, I want you to write every night 5 things that you like about yourself. And here's the thing, they can be the smallest and most minor things, and they can be big things. It doesn't matter. You can put, I make really good blueberry muffins, or I'm an amazing friend, or I'm a good listener, or I'm a kind person to neighbors, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It might be, I'm really good at knitting socks. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, but what it is it's an exercise that's giving you an opportunity to give attention to things you like and love and appreciate about yourself, because what you put out, you get back. And the more that you are focusing on all the things you like about yourself, and the more that you're building on that relationship with yourself, not only does that raise your vibration, and also it helps other people to see that in you, but it helps you to look. The more that you love yourself, the more that you're able to love others, and the more you're able to be more kinder to others, more forgiving, and the more happier you will be about yourself and about your life. And there are many reasons why it's really important. And so not only being there and loving and being understanding towards other people, but being loving and understanding for you towards yourself. Okay, really building on that self-love and that self-care, putting some time aside to do things that you love, pampering yourself, nurturing yourself, being your own best friend. All right, that's really important for you. Now, relationship issues that have been brewing beneath the surface with other people may rise up this month, because 6 does sort of give us an opportunity to improve relationships or work on those little niggly bits that have been sort of overlooked. Don't be surprised if that happens. It's a blessing. It's an opportunity to see how things can be improved, to clear the air, or in some cases, to cut someone loose and go the other way. We're all different. We're all going through different things, and all our relationships are different. But the main thing is that that you see through the eyes of love, be as understanding as you can towards others and yourself. So I leave that with you and wish you a fantastic month. And let's go now to personal year number 8. And it's interesting, the 8 year, if you were to read a numerology book or Google 8 personal year number or number 8 numerology, it'll talk a lot about money, business, and career. And that's because it does represent those areas. But what's very overlooked and not really commonly talked about in numerology books and websites and things is the fact that it really is a number that has a strong focus on power issues, so power struggles. So sometimes when people have an 8 in their personality profile from their name and date of birth, or they're in an 8 cycle, like a personal year number or a pinnacle or a major life cycle, that means that the 8 is giving that person the opportunity to work on power issues. Now, for some people, it may be that they are overpowering other people, and that we need to not to pull that power back in and let people be their own selves, without trying to manipulate, dominate, or control or overpower them. So in some cases, for some people with that 8, it's about learning to not be, the controller, and not to disempower other people. Then there are other people in that 8 cycle, or have an 8 in their chart, and they are learning how to reclaim their personal power over anything or anyone that has previously caused them to feel disempowered. So it's about taking your power back. Now, sometimes we can feel disempowered by other people that are controlling, and therefore it's a power play. And we're learning how to be more assertive. We're learning how to say no. We're learning how to have courage and to be strong. And that's what the 8 will give you the opportunity when you're in this 8 year. But other times it can mean that it's not a person that is disempowering us. It's a limiting belief, or it's a fear, or it's an addiction, a behavioral pattern that is causing us to feel disempowered. It can be a worry or a fear or a lack of self-esteem. And so when you're in this 8 year, or you have an 8 in your chart, know that that is an opportunity life is handing you to get that side of yourself and your life in order. Because if you look at the 8, it's 2 circles on top of each other, and it's learning how to balance. So having a fine balance between self-empowerment, disempowerment, the material world, the spiritual world, as above, so below, masculine, feminine. It's a balancing act. And so alongside issues of money, business, and career, there are those power issues. So while we're looking at money, hey, as you would have heard me say all throughout this year, always make sure that you're budgeting your finances in an 8 cycle, that you are on the lookout for ways that you can attract more money or opportunity or abundance into your life, because opportunity and abundance isn't just financial. It's all kinds of opportunities and abundance in many different ways. It can be an abundance of joy, an abundance of connection with others. It can be an abundance of incredible ideas that stimulate you and make your heart sing. There's no limitation in an 8. It's the number of manifestation, law of attraction. And of course, here's your card. Here's your numerology guidance card for the 8 month, the 8 year manifestation. It's the law of attraction number. Whoop, whoop. We love some Esther and Jerry, not Jerry anymore, but Esther and Abraham Hicks, don't we, when it comes to the law of attraction? And, also there may be shifts and changes in your career and your job, all of that sort of thing. So be on the lookout for ways that you can advance your career, ways you can generate more income, maybe have something on the side. Some people may be looking at self-employment. Some people may be looking at job changes. Other people are in the same career, but there may be changes within their career that are beyond your control. So those things can happen as well. Now, for the month of August, you are in a 7 personal month, and that's about personal growth. Now you get a double dose of that because it is a 7 universal year and you're in a 7 personal month. So personal growth, working on your shadow side, looking at how you can improve yourself, learning how to be more optimistic, learning how to take more control of your thoughts and perceptions. Knowing that also you want to spend some quiet time alone, because it's in that quiet time alone, in that silence, away from all the hustle and bustle and the phone and the noise of all the activity of life. It's in that stillness, in that silence, in that alone time that you really can hear the voice of your soul. You really can hear that intuition loud and strong because there's no distractions. You can't help but hear it. And some people avoid being alone, the silence and all of that, because they're trying to repress thoughts or feelings or fears or whatever. But it's like, bring it on. This is the month to bring that on, especially if you're in nature. Listen to some beautiful meditation music, sit down with a nice book, just snuggle up and just spend some quality time alone, connecting with your higher self, connecting with yourself and nature and all of the good stuff, and listening to Hay House, and oh my God, just filling your mind with all that mind, body, spirit wisdom. Oh, my favorite thing to do in the world. Oh, I love it. So yeah, you want to spend some quiet time alone. Now, you may not want to be as social as you normally would this month. That's what can happen sometimes in a 7 month. Also a great time to study and learn. You will find this month that your brain, that you're really able to focus a lot easier than you normally would be. This is the number of gaining wisdom, knowledge, and concentration and contemplation. All right. So yeah, don't let that go to waste. Take advantage of that combination of numbers, and I wish you a fantastic month. So last but by no means least, we're looking at now personal year number 9. And the 9 year is all about out with the old to make way for the new. And this is your card for the month of, here we go. It's completion. You're in a 9 year, out with the old to make way for new. Oh my goodness, I have to tell you, the last 2 9 years that I've had, because of course we have the same year every 9 years, right? The last 2 9 years I've had have been the best years of my life. So this can be one of the best years of your life too. 9 years are awesome. Anything can happen. It usually does. It can be a payoff year where everything you've been working towards can come to fruition. And it can be a time where, you go, as you always hear me say, talking about the 9 year, from the chrysalis to the butterfly, massive transformation, breakthroughs, where the person that you end up being at the end of this year is completely different than the person you were at the beginning of this year or 9 years ago. And you look back and you go, wow, man, look how far I've come. I'm so proud of myself. I've done so well. You're broad-minded, you're more understanding, more forgiving, and you really just want to connect to the people around you, the unity consciousness. You don't feel so alone. You feel wiser. It's a really powerful year, and this can be an amazing year for you too. Now, for the month of August, you guys are in an 8 month, and that means manifestation. Let's manifest our hopes and dreams and all the good stuff. What do you want to manifest this month? What do you want? I suggest you sit down and you write down, what do I want in my life? Now, here's a clue. Sometimes it's a matter of looking at what you don't want and then flipping it round. Well, I know I don't want this. And then what you do on your piece of paper is you write the opposite of that. So let's say you've got a challenging relationship with a family member. Well, I don't want to have this challenging drama with so-and-so. So then you'd write the opposite of that and what you want. I want a more harmonious relationship with so-and-so. You might say, I don't want to keep working in this boring job I hate. I want a new job that I love. So sometimes it's good to know what you don't want so that you can clarify what you do want. And I suggest you sit there and you write down all the things that you don't want in your life. That's if you don't already know what you do want, so that you can find what you do want. Or if you know what you want, write them down, because we've got to write them down because it gives it more energy. All right, write down what you want. And then you've got to start taking the steps towards manifesting them. Why? Because you're in a month of manifestation where the law of attraction is the ability to attract and manifest is at an all-time high with the number 8. And you are in that for the whole month. So make that, put that to good use. Don't let that 8 go to waste. Another great book I always talk about when I talk about number 8 and manifestation and the law of attraction is Hay House author and Hay House book, Sandra Ann Taylor, Quantum Success. She's going to teach you some really cool little intricate details about the manifestation process that I've not seen in other books. And I've got so many books, so many manifestation law of attraction books. And she's really easy to read, and it's a beautiful book, and it's really easy to read. And she is amazing, Sandra Ann Taylor. So you might want to watch some videos on YouTube of Abraham Hicks, or just Google manifestation, law of attraction. Get right into it, because anything can happen with that combination of numbers. Now, it's also a really strong number where a focus on money, finance, and career. So if you've got career changes you want to make, or you've got some ideas for ways you can generate or improve or change or advance your career, this is the time to start. Even if you don't actually physically make those moves, write them down. They might be the ideas, and it's not quite time yet to take action, but you're getting that inspiration, that divine guidance, that intuitive hit of these ideas that are flowing through you. This is the kind of magic that can happen for you this month. All right, so get clear about what you want. Really get into your law of attraction manifestation process. Learn it like the back of your hand and start putting that into practice, especially in the new moon, and especially releasing what you don't want on the full moon. And then in the new moon this month, really put some time aside, maybe 15 minutes. I mean, the longer the better. But if you can, on your new moon, go through that list of what you want to manifest, and you're holding a clear quartz crystal, because that's going to amplify the power of your thoughts 10 times, and have a little visualization on all those things you want to manifest on that new moon and throughout the month of August, because this is a really powerful, magical time for you. And especially with things to do with attracting abundance, money, business, finances, and career. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll leave that with you. And thank you so much for listening. And thank you for having me and tuning in. And I wish you a wonderful August 2023. And I'll be here again with the Hay House Live for September 2023's forecast. All right, everybody. Have a great month. Bye.